Try this 11-minute trick to instantly restore your phone's speed and battery life to like new condition, without spending money on expensive upgrades. Why did security guards kick a speaker out of the country's largest smartphone exhibition? Because he showed how to charge phones faster. A few months ago, I saw security guards at the exhibition lead a speaker away from a booth. He was demonstrating a product at the time. What was his mistake? He showed the entire crowd how to make their phones work like new without buying the latest models. If you're thinking of upgrading because your phone lags, drains battery too fast, or freezes frequently, what I'm about to share could save you over $1,000 this year alone. I've been attending tech exhibitions for about 10 years as part of my job as a product reviewer. So a few months ago, I attended a major smartphone exhibition in Las Vegas. Thousands of attendees, hundreds of booths, with big names like Apple and Samsung occupying large areas to promote their latest products. However, as I walked through the small seller section, I noticed a crowd gathering around a tiny booth in the back corner. People were pulling out their phones and holding them up to get a clear view, which is rare at events like this. So I walked over to see what was happening. The man running the booth was not a professional speaker. He had no fancy suit, microphone, headphones, or pre-written script. He stood behind a table with a power strip and a black device about the size of a phone charger plugged into the wall. He picked up someone's phone and spoke quickly. This phone is 3 years old. The battery dies in an hour, apps load extremely slowly, and the owner was planning to replace it, thinking it had reached the end of its life. He connected the phone to his device. Watch what happens in the next 60 seconds. The crowd leaned in. I could see the phone screen from where I stood. The phone's battery jumped from 17% to 38% in just a few seconds. Apps that used to load slowly now opened instantly. Facebook and YouTube finished loading in half a second, no buffering, no lag, smooth and fast. Everyone looked incredulous. "How is that possible?" someone in the crowd asked. The speaker smiled and replied, "Because your phone isn't old. It's being sabotaged." That's where the story gets interesting. He said smartphone companies embed programs in system updates to intentionally slow down old models. They call it planned obsolescence. The whole purpose is to make you think your phone is breaking so you'll buy the latest model. Every update contains hidden commands in what you download. He said these commands force your phone to reduce performance, drain battery faster, and overheat during normal use. He held up the black device. This thing erases those commands. It doesn't just charge your phone, it also removes whatever is causing the problems. People started pulling out their own phones and asking if he could test theirs. He plugged in another phone, an old Samsung model, and within seconds everything was running smoothly. The owner laughed out loud. "I was going to spend $900 on a new phone this weekend." The speaker nodded. That's exactly what they want. But then something happened that I'd never seen at any exhibition before. Two men in security uniforms appeared out of nowhere, and within 60 seconds they unplugged his device, told him to pack up, and escorted him toward the exit. We all just stood there in shock. They led the man away from his booth, leaving papers scattered on the table. I grabbed my things and followed them outside. I caught up with the speaker in the parking lot, where he was clearly frustrated as he threw his stuff into the trunk of his car. I asked, "What exactly happened in there?" He looked at me, sighed, and said, "Same as always. This happens every time I try to present this at industry events." He explained that major smartphone companies sponsor these exhibitions. They pay huge sums of money to control what is shown. And anything that threatens their upgrade cycle is quickly shut down. I've been kicked out of several expos over the past 2 years. He said they don't want people to know their phones are being intentionally sabotaged. I asked how his device worked. He pulled it out of his bag. It's called HyperCharge Pro. It uses advanced AI chip technology to quickly scan your phone system. He explained that when you plug in your phone, the device detects the hidden speed limiting codes in system updates, then sends a countersignal that neutralizes those commands. The disruptive code is still in your phone, he said, but this makes it unable to function. He held up his own phone to show me. It charges from 0 to full in minutes, and a full charge lasts all day. Not just a few hours like you might get now. He explained that HyperCharge works through hardware, not software apps. So phone companies can't detect it, block it, or update around it. It completely bypasses their speed limiting systems. I stood there for a moment, trying to process what he'd shown me. My phone was a year and a half old, and I'd been planning to upgrade before the end of the year. So I asked where I could buy one. He handed me a card with a website on it. It's the only place you can buy it right now. They won't let me sell it in physical stores. I ordered it immediately when I got home that night, and when it arrived the next day, I tested it on all my devices. My phone, which used to die by noon every day, now lasts all day without charging. Everything works as it should. Apps that used to take 10 seconds to open now load instantly. The battery charges fully in minutes, just as he said. When I checked the next day, I still had plenty of battery left after using the phone all evening. I could barely believe it. So I tested it on my dad's old Android phone, which he'd been complaining about for months. The nearly unusable device was restored to its original condition. He called me the next day and said he'd almost spent $800 on a new phone the previous week. And this thing had saved him all that money. Since then, I've told everyone I know about Hypercharge. The more people I tell, the more I realize how many of us have been tricked without knowing it. We're told that phones become too old after 18 months. And we have to upgrade to keep up with new software. But it's all a lie. Your phone slows down not because it's old, but because it's programmed to malfunction. Every system update you download since buying your phone contains hidden codes designed to make you think you need to upgrade. Smartphone companies make hundreds of billions from this scheme. And Hypercharge Pro stops it completely. It works with both iPhones and Android devices, and setup takes less than 30 seconds. You just plug it into any outlet, connect your phone, and it does everything automatically. No apps to download, no technical skills required. They don't want you to know this. That's why they shut down his presentation. And why it's only sold online. In fact, they've sued the company twice to try to stop production. Only about 400 units are left in stock. Supply chain issues mean they won't be able to make more until the end of next year. Additionally, the company is offering a discount for first-time buyers, but the offer ends in 10 hours, after which the price returns to normal. I'm telling you this because I watched a man get kicked out of an exhibition for trying to help people save money. And I realized how deep this goes. They hope you won't find out what they're doing to your phone. They want you to spend thousands of dollars every 1 to 2 years on a device you don't need. Don't let them win. Click the link in this video to go to the official website and get your Hypercharge before stock runs out. Once these units are gone, you'll have to wait until next year. And by then you might be forced to replace your phone unnecessarily again. Your phone doesn't need to be replaced. It just needs to be freed from what's holding it back. By now before it's too late.